Evidences of evolution. This topic is taken from the chapter of evolution. So, there are some important evidences of evolution. Let us learn each of them in detail. So, fossils. They represent plants and animals that lived millions of years ago and are now extinct. Different aged rock sediments contain the fossils of different life forms which probably died during the formation of the particular sediment. So, what are fossils? So fossils are basically impressions of the plants or animals. They are impressions, okay, which lived millions years of ago, but they are now died. But they are preserved in the earth's crust. Okay, so simple. Comparative anatomy and morphology. It shows evidences of the similarities and differences between living forms of today and that of the prehistoric times. Some of the examples of comparative anatomy and morphology are. So, comparative anatomy and morphology basically shows the evidences, proofs of the similarities and the differences between the now living forms of now, today, and that of the earlier prehistoric times. That is simple, okay? They basically show the similarities and the differences of now and that of the historic times. Homologous organs. All mammals share the same pattern of four limbs. Though they perform different functions, they are anatomically similar. This is called divergent evolution, and the structures are called homologous structure, common ancestors. So homologous organs are the organs. They have the same anatomical structure but have different function. So basically they have the same structure but perform different function. So this is the example. Look at the structure. This is an example of the homologous organs. Even mammals have the same pattern of the four limbs. Okay, this is an example of the homologous organs. Homologous organ is basically a divergent evolution. Why this is a divergent evolution? Because here two or more species share a common ancestor from which they diverge. For example, let us take example. A modern elephant and mammoth, they share common, but they evolved into two different species. Okay, but they evolved into two different species, but they have a common ancestor. Simple. The structures are called as homologous structure. Next point. Analogous organs. The pair of organs is not anatomically similar but perform the same function. Example, the wings of a butterfly and birds. This is called convergent evolution. So analogous organs are the organs having different anatomical structure but perform the same function. They basically perform same function but they structure wise they look different. Take for example wing of a butterfly wings and the wings of a birds. Wings we mainly use for flying. Okay, butterfly used for flying. They used for a same purpose. Function is same but have the structure little different. This is called as analogous organ. This is basically convergent evolution because it's when different organisms independently evolve. Adaptive mechanism. This is really important. Adaptive mechanism, most important question from the board's point of view. Okay, so the natural selection of moths in England. Okay, let us understand. We will derive here two cases. What happened before industrialization and what happened after industrialization in the case of a moths in England. So these are the moths which are white as well as dark winged moths. Okay, in the comparison we will study. Okay, before industrialization in 1850s it was observed that there were more white winged moths on the tree than dark winged moths. So before industrialization what happened in 1850s? There were more white winged moths than the dark winged moths. So can you think why there were more white winged moths than the dark winged moths? Why they survived more than the dark winged moths? So this is the really important question. Okay, let's move. This is because before industrialization, tree trunk was covered by white color lichen. In that background, white-winged moth survived, but dark-winged moth picked out by the predator. So what happened before industrialization? Tree was basically covered by the lichen. Have you observed lichen? So this is the structure of the lichen. Look here. Okay, white color lichen. Obviously, when the tree is covered by the white color lichen, then the white moth could not be seen by the predator. Obviously, so dark winged moths were more highlighted. So they were took up by the predator. Simple. The background was white winged moth survived, but dark winged moth could not survive, but they were took up by the predator. Simple. Then, after industrialization, what happened? After industrialization, in 1920, more dark moth observed in the same area. Surprisingly, after industrialization in 1920, more dark color moth were observed in the same area. Can you think now why? What was the reason? Very simple reason. Okay. This is because the tree trunk became dark due to the industrial smoke. Under this condition, the white-winged moth did not survive and easily picked up by the predator. So now what happened? Earlier, before industrialization, tree was covered by the lichen, but now the tree is mainly covered by the smoke. Before there was no industrialization, but after industrialization there were more industrial smoke. Due to the industrial smoke, the tree became really very dark in color. So due to the dark color, dark winged moth could survive, whereas white color were more highlighted, so they were picked up by the predator, because predator was can look at the white color easily than the dark winged moth. This is the main reason. Very simple. Before industrialization, there were more white winged moths than the dark winged moths because the tree trunk was covered by the lichen. After industrialization, the tree was covered by the smoke of the industrial smoke, so there were more dark winged moths than the white winged moths. This is really very important question and very simple. Write in the exam as I wrote here.